So it pays, I mean, usually characters nowadays are coded very in great detail, so it pays to, if you're looking for something, it pays to scroll through the entire set, which is usually several hundreds of characters, but you don't, I mean, it doesn't take hours. It may take like 10 minutes, which computer time is like several hours, but it doesn't, I mean, if you build the habit of using this, you will also be training it. So for each session that you run, any character that you use will be showing here, so you don't have to rerun the search every time you look for a specific character. Okay, so see here I'll pick up like, and then as I said, you go to Greek and Cyrillic, there is Arabic, there is Hebrew, and all kinds of things. So if I go to, let's see which one I want, one that is not here. And also now I'm in Verdana, which is a clear font I use for presentations, but sometimes it pays to change the font. So Times New Roman has a better IPA set than Verdana. Verdana is a presentation font, and it doesn't have everything. Times New Roman has pretty much everything you would wish for. So let's say I want to insert the Gothic Wa. So I select it and I click on insert, and you see that it appears in the training field. So now Word knows that I used it. And it will remember it until I run out of spaces, on this field, and then it will be replacing it by other characters. But if this is the problem why you did not do the transcriptions, I'm not sure I buy it, but we'll do them, okay. So can you please do them, I mean, we'll do them together, and for next time I have a different homework, but one of the points like here, I mean, going, because I tracked back on a lot of morphological training, and when you walk out of this class, one of the things I really want you to know is the IPA and how you transcribe some very basic phonetic transcription. So when you go to the next level of a linguistics class, you're not going to tell the lecturer, oh, we had somebody from Stockholm, and well, she was fine. Okay, so we'll do the transcriptions, and then we'll move on to more phonological processes. Okay, so I've used traditional, like, Turkish is easy to transcribe because Turkish spelling is as close as you get to a phonetic spelling. Many languages claim it, and then it's not exactly it, but Turkish is very close to it. So transcription, a phonetic transcription like the one I requested should not be too difficult. When I say phonetic transcription, what does this mean? What's the other alternative?
Decipher.
A phonetic. Okay, what do you get if you are to do a phonetic transcription? What do you get?
Write like symbols. Do you form that pronounce? Pronunciation. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, you write symbols in whichever case.
Yeah.
But with the phonetic transcription, you just indicate the sounds that compose a word. You do not give, you're not required to give any kind of information about the articulation process of that word. Whether some consonants have become aspirated, whether vowels have become lengthened. If length is not important, meaning in some languages length will be in the sound structure because length is distinctive. But in a suppose a language doesn't have distinctive length, length is not going to be required for vowels. Even during the pronunciation of that particular word, you may lengthen a vowel, okay, or you may aspirate the consonant. So yeah, and you get a lot of more detailed symbols because anything that is pertinent to pronunciation you write with diacritics in a phonetic transcription. In a phonetic transcription, we don't expect a lot of diacritics other than tones and phonematic length. All right. So this is how I rendered Gune. So phonetic transcription is always between slashes, and you go into straight IPA. So the only thing that is different, not traditional Turkish orthography, but the IPA symbol for Ü, which is the cross one, and then not traditional Turkish sh, but the IPA sh. It's no big deal. Can you see? You cannot. Okay. Okay, so did everyone get this down? All right. So we go to a sheet. Now let's again, the specifics here. I mean, this is why I wanted you to start with Turkish because A, it's your native. B, there isn't much to do, frankly.
It's really on. Ishik.
A sheet
It's not any letter.
Oh, ishik?
No, ishik.
Ü.
First one is.
It's like question. Question. The last part of question.
Okay,
Ishik.
oh, I made a mistake. All right. Well, you write it correctly.
And the nazar boncuğu, I think that one.
Okay.
Nazar boncuğu.
Okay. Well, see.
Like amulet.
Okay, you come here and write it. Okay. But there was an I there.
Işık kopyalı
Nazar boncuğu.
Nazar boncuğu.
Birleşik mi?
Birleşik.
Okay, so it's swapped. Then the transcriptions will be wrong. But you will write them correctly. Okay, so here it should be swapped, right? I and here.
Işık. No. Is it ı? Eşik. Işık.
Işık.
It's like that one
So
should
this
be
is
like
with
ashik or something.
Okay.
I think there is an with
I told you
two
that
dots
the
on the
transcriptions.
side.
Okay, I don't know. We're doing IPA,
Mhm.
and I made a spelling mistake with the shook. So it should be the here as well.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't know about dots because dots in IPA are not.
IPA, I think it's not very standard either, or there are different IPAs maybe sometimes, because sometimes it puts one plus two dots on top of it. One is on the right, one is on the left. So
I'm not sure what
sometimes
that
in American linguistics books, they show it like that, so I'm a little confused about that.
I'm following the standard IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing a phonetic transcription.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be, as I said, there will be different kinds of transcription.
Yes, there is.
And it will be different levels of detail that you can show. I'm confused as to what, apart from the here, one would be missing. How would you do it?
That can be, I don't know, I should just write it, I think.
You
It's
can use
ashik.
M, but
It's
reverse M. Like this.
Is there a
It's
fourth
not a
marker?
central vowel.
Işık. That one, the phonetic translation for ışık, the E is like like ashik or ashik or something like that in Turkish.
Well, see, this is where we sort of like string apart, because what I ask people here to do is a simple phonetic transcription. You shooting for a phonetic transcription and
Do you have a board
different heads.
marker? Sorry.
Pardon?
Is there a board marker here, like to write something on the blackboard?
There is a marker, yes.
I think
Sure.
what I know is, this is me, so
Sure.
this is something like this. I remember something like this in like Akmajian's or like Fromkin and Rodman's book. It's like a ship. This is little, it's like this is like or kind of something like this in different. Let's find it. I get
This is the central vowel. That is an E that could be written like this. Dots are not standardized yet. And this is the that in the vowel diagram is towards the front and in the mid-high region. But you're welcome to come and write more on the board.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm done.
I know, like, okay. So, the Nazar Bonju, obviously I misspelled it and then I mistranscribed it. So, let's transcribe it right. If we turn this off, and I'm sure you can reproduce the Nazar Bonju. Okay. So if we go na and then so far no problems. And then j. Okay. So how would we render j?
It's like DSZ or something. DJ.
And then the important part here is to indicate that this is one sound with a bracket above.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you go with you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
It's normal.
Bonjour.
After that is ra. But
Bonjour.
That is normal.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Okay.
One more.
It's a normal O, I think, and then long O, I think. Or you can, yeah, it can be long too. It's like a long vowel, but how can I say? The ra drops kinda, and then two U's get together. It's kinda merger.
Yeah. Well.
Kinda.
You get a lengthened vowel and you can have a crest.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
When we say it sounds like a diphthong, but it's not because of the ra is not pronounced properly.
Yeah.
It drops and the U's merge together.
Okay.
It's not a what do we call it? Oh, I forgot. Vowel dropping and compensatory lengthening. It's not compensatory lengthening.
No, it is not. It's you get kayaks. This is what you get. Okay. All right. So are we in agreement about this one? Okay. Good. Okay. All right, if we go to your practice. This is how I transcribe it. Okay, blind, and then nothing, not much to say. Right? Buyuk. We agree with there too.
Is that
Okay.
could be? Yes, there is a büyük. The word büyük, K is a little front, and the yatak is like more like ka. It's like more like Q in English.
Right, but
Right.
are they distinct phonemes?
They are not.
This is what
They
I'm
are not.
asking.
They are not.
I'm asking the students to do phonemes.
All right.
Okay, I asked them to do a phonetic transcription.
Sometimes there are distinction between K and K. Sometimes in borrowed words. Car, for example, snow. Car, prophet.
Okay.
Yeah. But these are
Is this systematic?
No.
Okay. So, see, I mean, I talked about phonemes last time. What I wanted them to do with this exercise is to internalize the IPA and get to in the habit of using it in the easiest possible way. Okay. So you switch. Okay. And then that's. If we are in agreement about the sound structure, and that bracket that's supposed to be in the middle, it hopped out, but it's supposed to be in the middle and indicate an effort. Okay. And finally, bullock. Okay. You can ask any questions you like, yes. İşveç. Okay, this is the ch. İşveç. Yeah, ch. So, it's T and then ch. Okay, the Turkish words were supposed to be easy. Now the English words are, some of them are trickier. So if we start with languages, I mean, English spelling is notoriously bad, right? So, there is no principles other than. So, what we need to remember when we transcribe, that spelling could be anything, and we shoot to represent sounds. And here I have explicitly not asked you to represent pronunciation of sounds with sound structure. So we have the velar nasal, and then the g, and then a affricate. Okay. Okay. Impossibility and nothing to remark other than like rendering the e's with a proper IPA symbol. Okay. Boisterous. Just again here, this is one sound, and make sure to represent the diphthong correctly.
What does it mean?
Boisterous? Boisterous means somebody who is troublesome and noisy, and can be even sort of belligerent, like getting into fights and stuff. But usually it's used for kids, like kids, boys.
I'm a troublemaker.
It's a troublemaker. Yeah. Youngsters combines well with
To some
boys.
extent bragging as well. Bragging.
Right. Now youngster, just mark the velar nasal as a centralized vowel. You following? All right. Another. Diabolical. Have to say the diphthongs, the hiatus, and then the centralized vowel at the end. Nearly over.
British.
And then the Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood. Great Red Riding Hood. Inexcusable. Did you get it? I'm fine with the chocolate pudding. Which one? Chocolate
The chocolate.
pudding. Pudding. Pudding. Chocolate. In American, what's chocolate?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. In British, like chocolate. Chocolate.
They extend the second syllable chocolate.
Chocolate.
Okay. Okay, so that was the homework. It's okay. I mean, it's like these home assignments are meant to consolidate what we spoke about in class.
We're kind of familiar with the symbols. Last term, we just took a whole class on this.
Well, this is why I wanted you to do it, and I would ask you to do like, I mean, I'll send you more words to do, because unless you do transcriptions, there is no other way how would you would learn. I mean, you had a little class, and now you have another little class, and then it doesn't really work this way. So today I thought I would do what I tried to do 2 weeks ago, and it didn't work because of many other things. Like there was no the background that was supposed to make this possible was kind of missing. I hope we have our background now. So what I want to introduce today is like distinctive features for the description of phonemes. Because distinctive features are the apparatus that allow us to describe sounds in the languages around the world. And I'm going to talk about automatic alternations and morphophonological alternations. I'm going to talk about how you formulate morphophonological rules, be they automatic or morphophonologically conditioned. And I'm going to say something about the frequency and its role in the shape of voice structure. I'm going to come back to frequency later on. But just to finish this off, it's important to point out that all these alternations are heavily influenced by frequency and function. If we go to distinctive features, the general classes of sounds that we tend to produce are consonant and vowels. So from last time, what characterizes a consonant in terms of articulation? Silence?
Silence.
Um,
It requires another vowel to put.
A consonant requires an obstruction somewhere. Something happens. There is like some sort of closure or near closure in usually the oral cavity. Okay, so that's one important thing. I'm revising these things because you have to keep them alive. And remember them, because when I start like going through distinctive features are grounded in articulation. They don't come out of the blue. They're motivated in the way we describe and in the way we articulate sounds. So now when I say that there is like an obstruction somewhere in the oral cavity, remember that, because later on we'll talk about place of articulation as one of the pivots of the distinctive feature system. Okay. The other thing that is important to distinguish consonants from vowels very early in the articulation process, down in the throat, what happens? It happens for vowels but does not happen for consonants. Very good. Okay, vibration of what?
Vocal cords?
We talked about this.
The vocal, yeah, the glottis and the vocal, you're right. Okay, exactly that. Okay, the vocal folds or the vocal cords. So that will relate to the presence or non-presence of voice. Okay. So now that we have that, and those are two broad categories of sounds that we produce while speaking.